It's 2025 and these Shopify scams are going completely out of control. So if you have an online store, these scams can completely destroy you. So let's unwrap them one by one.
It's crazy, Silvia, that it's 2025. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Oh my God, I cannot believe it's 2025. And I can also not believe that these scams are getting so out of control.
Yeah, and not just for Shopify, but for like so many different areas of life.
So many different areas. And why do you think that is?
I think it's technology, like the automation and the tools that are available for scammers are just getting more and more advanced, and the ability to create like authentically looking real messages, but they're fake. Like just the other day, I got one in my inbox as well. It was from Google, looking like someone had shared a document with me, and I clicked it, but it's only because I had some software, like antivirus software installed, that it said,
alert.
This is a phishing scam, right? So
it's crazy.
So without going to that, there's all of these crazy ones, but there's a few particular ones that we want to draw out today.
We do want to draw out for them, and I just want to like point out all of these scams. These are smart people, right?
Yes.
Like they're not just smart people, but they're smart, they're techie, they really know how to work things.
Yes.
Do you think they would be able to actually make money in a different way?
I think yes, but they're going for the low-hanging fruit of like doing, why do drug dealers deal drugs to make money, right? Like they could run a real business doing something else, but they do it because there's a lot of money on the table to be grabbed there, right?
And it must be so easy for them.
I think it's easy.
It's like crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's go through this because
it.
Honestly, if you guys don't want to pay attention to this, like this can completely destroy you. And we've seen...
Can burn your business to the ground, right?
Yeah, like we've seen so many people who are like come to us and they're like, oh, I just paid 25 grand and they were really nice to me and they promised me this and this and that. And you know, I'm still trying to reach them, but somehow they're not responding. And I'm like, oh, honey, you just been scammed.
So we've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go with number 5. First up, fake marketing agencies promoting unrealistic things.
Yes. So once again, we see this we shouldn't be laughing, but we get this in our inbox all the time.
Yeah.
So how do you know you're getting a fake marketing agency? So if you get a marketing agency that is promising you, all you're gonna do, you're just gonna pay me $2,000 per month, and I'm gonna get you $50,000 from scratch, even if you haven't sold anything before. Scam. This like happens day in and day out. So watch out for anybody promising something completely unrealistic. So normally they would tell you things that look real, like they would say, I'm gonna get you a much better ROAS, like return on ad spend, I'm gonna run your ads, your ROAS is gonna be better. Then sometimes they say things like, I'm gonna grow your audience from this to this. Also be really careful about reviews, I would say. So a lot of the reviews, they would like show you a screenshot of results and it looks really real until you zoom in.
Yeah.
So always zoom in.
I think like a golden rule here, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. Like I think the people that are most vulnerable to these types of scams are people that haven't sold either anything online so far,
that's true,
or sold not much online. Because if you sold some stuff online already, you have an idea of what the benchmark numbers are for your business. But if you really have no clue because you're just starting out, then people promise you these, outlandish results numbers, you want to believe it, you want to buy into it. I think. Yeah.
That's a very good point. And so let's actually give people some guidance. And guys, comment below, is this helpful if we give you some numbers guidance when you know it's a scam? So for example, when somebody is giving you a return on ad spend or ROAS in our industry, and they tell you, hey, we can get you 25 ROAS, meaning for every dollar you spend, they're going to make you $25
in revenue.
I've never seen this happen.
Of a new business that has not many sales, especially unlikely, right?
Yeah, I have not seen this ever. Like normally a really good ROAS is around 7, max like 10, but that's for businesses that are really dialed in. For a new business, when you start running ads for the very first time, you would be really lucky to be getting 3x ROAS, and that's when you're still like dialing in and tuning in things. So
if an agency comes and says, look, we've never worked together before, but we're going to start working together this month. You just pay me, you send me the monthly retainer, and we're going to get you 25 ROAS. Or 15 ROAS
it's not
off the bat. It's unlikely to happen off the bat, right? Like,
So warning signs, generic testimonials, no verifiable track records, and also like if they reaching out to you personally and they say, hey, I'm the CEO of this agency and I have worked with all of these big names, and they give you big names, then that's a warning sign number 1.
Yeah.
That if they really worked with all these bigger clients, they would not be the CEO or whoever would not be reaching out to you personally.
And one other thing that I've seen before is that people show you results like, look how many impressions we got or look how many clicks we got.
Yeah.
But impressions and clicks can both be manipulated, right?
Yes.
So what we want to see is actual sales results, like actual
And
revenue and orders and
yes, and at the same time, if it's a really reputable agency, then they wouldn't be sharing somebody else's revenue without the permission of the person, and then it would be a public case study, and we're going into this whole thing.
Yeah, so if it sounds like fishy, if it smells fishy, if it tastes fishy, then
it's probably fishy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's move on to scam number 2, which is subscription traps. What are subscription traps?
And especially, I would say some apps, once again, apps that promise you unrealistic results. Like an app, and believe me guys, there are apps that are just fake apps. Like, I'll magically get you traffic and sales.
I've seen some like some apps for even I saw an app that was like a Traffic Ninja related name. I can't remember the exact name.
And that's what we realized, that somebody was competing with our name on Google search, and we're like, who are these guys? And it was like a fishy app.
Buy our Traffic Ninja app, and what we do is we send you all of this bot traffic. But I'm like, why would you buy the bot traffic?
Yeah.
Because the bots are not going to buy your products. Like,
plus,
I don't get it.
If you then later start running ads and Meta is gonna sense that there is bot traffic, or Google search organic penalizes if you have bot traffic.
Yeah,
because they can sense what bot traffic is, because it like bounces off. Anyway.
Yeah. So, but anyway, back to app subscription tracks. So I just got a bit sidetracked there with the Traffic Ninja one. But what we're talking about here are apps that charge you a fee.
Yeah.
And they promise you that they're going to bring you like magical results.
Yes. And normally these apps work as they gonna present themselves as referral apps. And so they're gonna say, hey, we have this large audience in all of these different places. And guess what? We're gonna promote your business for free. All you pay us is that sometimes the subscriptions are really small, so people just do it. It's sometimes like only like $30 a month. And so business owners just like, $30 a month.
Even if it's less, $20, $10 a month. These guys are relying on having lots of people obviously signed up. Yeah.
Exactly. And then essentially you might see some clicks, and so you might feel like, oh my God, this is working.
They're sending me traffic, Silvia. They're sending me traffic.
Yeah, but
I don't want to cut it off because they're sending me traffic. There could be a sale in there.
But it's all bot generated.
But there's not going to be a sale in the bot traffic, right?
No,
it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
The bot doesn't have a credit card, does it?
Yeah, exactly. So once again, guys, please run any of these claims through like a logical process. Like, what is this? How does it work? Who else has used it? Are there any public reviews? Not like a pretend reviews on the website, because anybody can put reviews on the website, but actually public reviews. Is there Trustpilot history? Because like one of the things you can see, if the reviews are even on Facebook or Instagram, but the Instagram account or Facebook account was created 2 months ago, which we've seen this many times over and over. If it's created like a couple of months ago, and it shows like it's got a lot of reviews, it's fake. No business, no app is gonna have, outstanding, incredible reviews within 2 months. It just doesn't happen that way. And by the way, completely sidetracked, but this happens a lot on Marketplace as well. So we were buying some things on Marketplace.
That's a good point,
and that's how we found some of these cameras, right? Because it would be like, they would take like a picture from, let's say, whatever you're buying, plants or couch or whatever. Not that we were buying any of those. We were still buying those. So anyway, this is like a year ago. And so there will be like a picture of like a beautifully looking whatever you are after with an amazing price, and then you message them, and then they are like, oh yeah, I already had so many people. Totally. When are you picking it up? Tomorrow? Okay. Just send me a small deposit, like $50, because I have so many people.
Or for high value items, it might be something like, oh, it's $1,000, but I'll just take a holding deposit of 10%, $100. Just transfer me $100 now, and I'll hold it for you so I don't release it to someone else. But of course, it's a scam.
But of course, it's a scam.
That's a little bit off topic, but it's related because it's also a scam.
Yes. So always look at the personal profiles and when were the personal profiles created.
Yes.
So when a service or an app has reviews, normally you want them to be public.
Great. Thank you. Number 3, drop shipping, get rich quick scams. This is one of our favorite ones, yeah?
These are one of our favorite ones. And by the way, we're going from the order of the least to most scammy ones. So this is kind of in the middle. All right. So there are like crazy number of courses out there. Like we're not big fans of dropshipping in the first place. However, having said that, we do also work with brands that are brands, not just dropshipping, general store.
I think we'll just distinguish, like there's dropshipping as the fulfillment mechanism.
Yes.
And there's dropshipping as
a general store, one product store.
Cheap junk, trending thing.
Yeah, so that's not our thing.
Yeah.
But even though it's not our thing, I still want to make it clear that there are some incredible experts out there who teach this really, really well. And we follow a few of those, and we really think highly of those guys, and they put in so much work over so many years. We're not talking about those guys. We're We are really talking about courses that claim to, like, you just pay me $20 and I'll create your store. And then you pay me, you know what, pay me another $2,000. And then after the $2,000, I'm just gonna like make you passive income.
I'm gonna load your store with high quality products.
Yeah.
And then basically the store's running itself. And all you need to do is collect the orders, watch the traffic roll in, and
watch the money roll in. So guys, if anyone is promising you 5, 6, 10 grand per month passive income after you pay them $2,000, it's so completely unrealistic.
Yeah.
So if anybody ever promises passive income, scam, like beware.
It's likely to be a scam.
Very likely, because as Gary Vee says,
passive income.
There is no such thing as
no effing thing as
passive income. Okay.
It's not. Sometimes it's not passive and it's not income, right?
Yeah, it's either not passive or not income. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. And so, how are you gonna spot this scam? You're gonna spot this scam if there's like a small. Normally starts with a small bait. It's like, hey, I'm gonna build you a dropshipping Shopify store for $20, and it's gonna be pre-loaded, handpicked. And then you get that store within 4 hours. Right now, when you get that store within 4 hours, you're gonna start trusting this company more, because it's gonna be like, oh my God, I got a real store, they handed it over to me, it looks amazing. What you don't know is that they're creating these stores on a daily basis over and over and over. So it's just a copy-paste template first.
Yeah.
The other thing you don't know is that they are collecting an affiliate Shopify commission for every store opened that's much greater than $20.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably $250 or whatever. And so they're already making, or at least breaking even on that first thing. Then you trust them. You're like, hey, these guys are legit. For $20, they did this.
They did all this work for me. They built me a whole store with all these products.
If they did this for $20, guess how much can they do for $2,000? Transfer. Then they send you some bot traffic for the $2,000. It's like, oh my God, it's already working a little bit.
I got all these visitors to my store.
Now they're asking for 10 grand, and this 10 grand, they can do all of these other things. Oh my God, transfer, let's go.
And then we get the call, I've got traffic, but no sales.
And then we get the call, guys. And when we get the call, it ain't pretty.
It is like, a lot of money down the tube, right?
A lot of money. And at that point, we're not even traffic ninjas. We are traffic rescue at that point. Or traffic ninjas rescue.
Business rescue.
Yeah. So we don't want this to happen to you guys. So if anything...
It's back to the same thing. If it sounds too good to be true,
yeah,
just think about it. Like, it's probably not as realistic as what it sounds. And so we've mentioned here that there's courses, right? So we've mentioned here the model of people building the store, but the same is true for courses too, right? Like, buy my course and I'll teach you how to pick the hand-winning products and do this and do this. And within 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, you're going to be making like all of this money. It's going to be so easy.
Yes.
In reality, it's not that easy, right? So
it can be simple if you follow the steps, but you've got to understand what the steps are. And by the way, we've personally met guys, and recently we just spoke to them. We've personally met guys who are selling dropshipping courses for 7, 8, 9, 10 grand. And it's like the way how they're marketing this and the way how they're positioning it, it's like in a month, you're going to be making 25 grand in 1 month.
It's possible, but is it probable?
It's definitely, in my opinion, if it's a dropshipping store with crappy products.
Yeah, with no brand.
With no brand.
No curation.
No vision, no purpose, no value add, no understanding customer.
Fully AI written text copywriting with no like actual direction. It's not probable.
It's not probable. And it can really bleed you dry.
Yes, hence the whole theme of this whole series of videos.
Yeah.
Watch out for these things bleeding you dry. All right, a couple more to go. Fake ads.
This one, please beware. Please beware. All right, so these fake ads.
There's so many of them now, right? Like,
so many
things like investment scams, using politicians, using celebrities, using well-known people, influencers.
Yeah, and these ones, are really, really dangerous. And the reason why I think they're dangerous is because we do this day in and day out. And sometimes we fall for these scams, almost fall for these scams too.
Yeah.
So there was an ad that I saw in my feed last week. It looked so realistic. It looked so beautiful. By the way, it was for an online store. so realistic, so beautiful, to the point that I went to that store, added products to cart, and I was checking out. And only when I was checking out, I think it was divine intervention. Once again, it was like, Silvia, go to their Facebook business page and have a look how far ago, or what's the word in English? How long ago? Sorry guys, sometimes this happens. How long ago was this business established? And it was established 2 months ago. And I was like, bloody hell, they have no address here.
Yeah.
They have no phone number here. They have no proper email address. But
there's a fake store.
I was this close to putting my credit card details.
Yeah. I've seen a similar one in my feed as well, and it was for closing down sale, closing down, all stock must go. And I clicked on the store and I'm like, oh, these look pretty good.
Yeah.
Normally it's a high price, and right now it's going for a low price because they're liquidating, they're going out of business. Long story short, it was a fake business, but the ad caught my attention. That's
so
key.
Once again, these fake scams are created by individuals who are extremely good at marketing,
or organized groups.
So the reason why I'm saying this, guys, is because it's gonna look real.
Yeah.
These people are extremely talented, and they could be using the talent for something else, but they're using the talent to scam people. So I just want you guys to be aware, like, you get this fake meta ad, and this fake meta ad could be promoting an app, it could be promoting a tool, it could be promoting a marketing agency, it could be promoting a new store theme, it could be promoting a new feature of Shopify you haven't heard of before.
It's any product or service, really.
Yes.
I mean, in the non-Shopify examples, it's like, invest your money in this, put your money here, I'm going to get these returns for you. But in Shopify, it can be all of these other things too. Yeah.
Typically, you also get another really big scam, an email from Meta. So really be aware of this, because it goes together. So if you get an email from Meta, always check the email address that is being sent from, because how many times have I seen like, oh, this is an email from Meta, and so you trust it because it's coming from Meta, you want to click on it, you want to respond to that. But it was only like when Kristen was like, hang on a minute, Silvia, what is the email address? You click on the email address and it's like
some fake address at gmail.com.
And it's like, wow.
Yeah.
So these fake ads.
It's like the one I mentioned at the beginning. It looked like it was from Google, like a document's been shared with you. Click on the thing here. And it wasn't.
But unfortunately, these days, it also happens in your feed as a sponsored ad.
Yes.
And because there are so many ads out there, and that's why so many of our ads get rejected, because Meta thinks, something is wrong with the ads, because they possibly cannot like by hand control, physically, what do you call it, by review by a human.
Millions of ads to be reviewed.
Millions of ads to be reviewed. And so as a result, you will start seeing this year, unfortunately, more and more of those in your feed. You think that when it's sponsored, must be approved by Meta, must be the real thing, but just beware of those fake Meta.
And as you said,
inboxes too.
Simple solution, just check out the page, the social profiles of the page, and then you get a clue as to how real or not real it is. Always look at the address on the website as well. The domain name. And also like the physical address of where the store is.
Yeah. And I presume that as we progress inside 2025, they're going to be getting more and more smart.
Yeah.
So even if you find an address, because sometimes there's going to be a specific address,
yes,
then take that address and Google that address. Yeah. And that will give you a clue as to, once you're starting to see what I call the closed circle, then it's a real thing,
Yeah.
If that person is on LinkedIn and, that same person is somewhere else and that same person is somewhere else and the address matches, then that's okay.
One more pro tip is to check the terms and conditions page.
Yes.
And sometimes it will say insert company name here.
Yes.
Rather than just copy pasted it from somewhere else, right? So.
Yeah.
All right. And on to the biggest one.
The biggest one of them all.
Number one, supplier fraud.
Yeah, so another big scam, guys, that we have been seeing is like negotiating with a supplier that they're going to manufacture your product. You either already manufacturing your product and then they're just going to say we're going to do it better quality, at a better price, all of those things. Or you're not manufacturing it and they're suggesting they're going to manufacture it for you. So this is a big one. Sometimes this type of scam also is going to be really long-term. These guys are thinking long-term, okay? They're crazy smart. So if by any chance they send you samples of a product, it does not mean yet that they manufactured the product, okay? So ask them about like, can I see a video from the factory, and when they send you a video from the factory, then get the person who you're speaking to speak to the camera, and then do the walk through the factory, and then actually do the call with you as well.
So it's not like a stock video.
Yes, so that it's not a stock video.
Someone else's factory.
Yeah, and once again, verify the business.
Yeah, look up, do they have a Google Maps profile? Do a bit of Googling. Yeah. There's a lot of these fake suppliers, especially like with Alibaba and the online marketplaces for suppliers. And there's some vetting that takes place, but because there's so many, it's hard to keep track of everything that's on there, right? So there are fake profiles on there.
And the reason why this one is number one, why this one is the biggest one of them all, is because you are putting a lot of money out up front.
Yes.
And you are also waiting for your product to be delivered. So many of you guys will be selling the product in the meantime, and so on and so forth. So this is the biggest one out of them all, because it's going to require the most out of pocket.
Yes.
And it's going to bleed you dry the most.
Painful.
It hurts.
Painful.
So if you can, fly over wherever that is. Fly over and do the negotiation in person.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're having bigger orders.
Like I said, depends on the size of the order, obviously.
Yes.
You wouldn't do it for a small order.
No, but otherwise have an intermediary
Yes.
Who, let's say, collects the product on shore, and then have some sort of payment terms that, only once the products are checked and are vetted, that's when you're going to pay the money.
I think that's a really big beginner mistake, is people pay everything up front.
Yes.
You want to have milestones, in my opinion.
Exactly. Always negotiate.
Yeah.
Always negotiate, whether it's a marketing agency
or
whether it's a supplier, whoever that is.
Any commercial relationship.
Just don't negotiate with us.
But where you want to have milestones.
Exactly. Always milestones for any service.
Like deposit and final, or deposit and midway and final.
Yeah,
like
for
that.
Anybody who's delivering service, you always want to have.
Yeah. Alrighty, so that's 5 scams that are going to bleed you dry in 2025. If you want to find out 5 other things that are going to bleed your business dry this year, then check out this next video, and we'll see you over there. Let's go.
Let's go.